Okay, now let's have a look at long division, and then directly afterwards we'll do synthetic division. I definitely prefer synthetic division because calculation wise you basically reduce your calculations by half or even more, but in order to look at both, it will be important to see the similarities as well. Okay, so for now, let's just start with another type of application for the factor theorem. And I'm going to use an example to do that. So now they give us this expression. Let's say x to the power of 3 plus 8x squared plus 17x plus 10 equals 0. And the question states, solve the following equation. Now you can see it's equal to 0. So what they're actually asking is we need to factorize. We need to get to the factors of this expression. This is a cubic function, by the way. It's a graph that will look something like this. So there's the potential to have 3 intercepts. That's why we'll have 3 answers. You can see that because it's a cubic function. But we'll talk more on that in chapter 8. It's just for interest sake, I wanted to show you that. Okay, so first things first is we need to determine a factor before we can start long division. So how we can do that is we are going to see, just for this calculation, I'm just going to say this is fx. Okay. For which values of x will fx be equal to 0? If that happens, it's a factor, right? So let's test. So this is now where we test. And this you'll have to do if it's synthetic or long division, doesn't matter. So the easiest one is always a test for 0, but you can see 0 won't work because of the 10 right there. So then 1 would be the next one I test. But you can see all of these are positive terms, so 1 would not work either. So my best guess would be -1 to start with. But you can see you start small and then you go bigger. You rarely go beyond 3 and -3 to get one of the factors at least in this application. But let's start. So we are going to start with -1. I think that's an intelligent guess. So -1 cube plus 8 times -1 square plus 17 times -1 plus 10. So let's test. This becomes -1. This becomes a positive, so it's plus 8. This is -17 plus 10. So let's see. -1 plus 8 is 7. 7 minus 17 is -10 plus 10 is equal to 0. Now we should make a statement. We say therefore x plus 1 is a factor. Okay, why do I say plus 1? Because we just said that x is equal to -1. So we have to take the -1 across, and that will give us x plus 1. So now we know that x plus 1 is a factor. Okay, so let's just pause here. You have to do this if it's synthetic or long division, doesn't matter. You will have to do this if this was the question statement. Now I'm going to solve it by using long division first and then synthetic division. Okay, let's do it step by step. So here we go. This is the expression. And this is our divisor. And now we are going to work with it. Okay, so first steps first. X cubed divided by x is equal to x squared. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 1 is x squared. And this is a pattern that will repeat all the way through. Now we subtract this from the top term. So x cubed minus x cubed is 0. 8x squared minus x squared is 7x squared. And remember, there's a zeros right over there, so 17x minus 0 is just 17x. We can write the 10 here as well, but it's not needed. You'll see now. Okay. Next step. 7x squared divided by x is plus 7x. 7x times x is 7x squared. 7x times 1 is just 7x. Now we do the same step again. 7x squared minus 7x squared is 0. 17x minus 7x is 10x. And I bring down the 10 now. You can see there's no need to write it down here. We can say plus 10 minus 0 is just 10. Now last step, plus 10x divided by x is just a plus 10. 10 times x is 10x, and 10 times 1 is plus 10. And now we subtract again. 10x minus 10x is 0. 10 minus 10 is 0. If you have a 0 there, you know they're factors. So we can write the expression down as follows then. It was x plus 1 times x squared plus 7x plus 10. But we're not done yet because we still have to factorize this bracket, the quadrilateral, the quadratic equation. So let's do that. Let me just create some space. So this will be equal to x plus 1 times, now let's factorize. It's a 10, it's positive, so it's a 2 and a 5. Okay, so it's x plus 2, x plus 5. And there we have it. That's we fully factorized that expression. Now we're going to do this with synthetic division. Okay, so let us start off by writing down the coefficients of our expression. Okay, so it's x cubed, so therefore that's a 1, plus 8x squared, so that's an 8, plus 17x, so that's 17, plus 10. Okay, and remember, we know that x plus 1 is a factor. Now, with synthetic division, we don't write down x plus 1. We write it down in this format. You'll see now x equals negative 1. We are going to write down the negative 1. So here at our expression, we're going to draw a line like this. And like I say, there's many different ways of doing this. I normally just do it like this. So this is now negative 1. Now we are set up to use our synthetic division. So this is the first difference with long division and synthetic division, that negative 1, where with long division it was x plus 1. So first of all, we start off by writing down a 0. And then you say 1 plus, and this is now the second difference with synthetic division. We are adding, we're not subtracting. So it's 1 plus 0 equals 1. Now I say negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. 8 plus negative 1 is 7. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. 17 plus a negative 7 is 10. Negative 1 times 10 equals negative 10. 10 plus a negative 10 is 0. And you will see this is our remainder. If that is a 0, it's a factor. Okay, now let's just make sure we understand what this correlates with. And to do that, I'm just going to move it up a little bit. Have a look at how we ended with our long division. You will notice right over here, that is a 1, and there's a 1 in front of the x squared. That's a 7. There is a 7 in front of the x. That's a 10. There is the 10 in front, just at the end, as a coefficient. So that's what this means. It's x squared plus 7x plus 10. And over here it was x cubed plus 8x squared plus 17x plus 10. So that's a very quick way to do long division or synthetic division then. So just again, I'm just going to repeat this. You start off by writing down a 0. 1 plus 0 equals 1. Then you multiply these two with each other. -1 times 1, and you write it down over there. You plus again. Then you multiply these two together and write it down over there. You plus them together, you get 10. You multiply the -1 of the 10 and you get -10. You plus them together and you get a 0. If it's 0, it's a factor. Okay, so all of these are multiplications and these are additions, and that is synthetic division. You can see it's 3 lines, done and dusted. So this example right over here. So the question actually stated that fully solve for -3x to the power of 3 plus 7x squared minus 4 equals 0. Okay, but I already calculated the one factor. You can see 1 works out perfectly fine, which tells us that x minus 1 is a factor. Okay, now many times without fail people struggle with this one because of the x. The term with the x is missing. Can you see there? -3x cubed plus 7x squared minus 4. Okay, and that's why people struggle. But let me give you a tip. Add a plus 0x right there, please. And then you put the 4 there. And this will really make life so much easier. Let's do the solution, and then we're going to do it in synthetic division as well. Okay. So right over here, -3x cubed divided by x is -3x squared. -3x squared times x, you get -3x cubed. -3x squared times -1, you get a plus 3x squared. Now we subtract, you get 0, and you get 4x squared. 4x squared, oh yeah, by the way, we move the plus 0x down now as well, right? 4x squared divided by x is plus 4x. 4x times x is 4x squared times -1 is minus 4x. Subtract, you get 0. Then 0 minus a -4x is 4x. Remember to do the subtraction. And then you bring the -4 down. 4x divided by x is 4. 4 times x is 4x, and 4x times -1, 4 times -1 is -4. Subtract these and we get 0, therefore we know it's a factor. So I'm just going to stop here. I want you just to see what I did with the 0x. Now let's do the exact same question with synthetic division, and you'll see how quickly it goes. Okay, so for synthetic division, I'm just showing you this expression again. We will have -3, 7, 0, -4. Okay, and this is x minus 1, so we are going to have a 1 there. Okay, let's start. First step, write down the 0. -3 plus 0 is -3. 1 times -3 is -3. 7 plus a -3 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 0 plus 4 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. Yet again, -4 plus 4 is 0. This I'll check. Is the factor? Yes, because of the 0. Therefore, our final expression is negative 3x squared plus 4x plus 4. And you can see how quickly that was.